What is the buzz? What is it? This is a short video just to explain the buzz. I talk a lot about it, and I just wanted to give a brief explanation as to what it means, the theory behind it, and how it can be used in some examples. So the buzz is a thought or a word or a phrase that we can use when we're feeling something intensely. Say, for example, we're feeling angry. There's a buzz that I am suggesting that you can use to help basically interrupt the feeling and bring you back to a place of neutrality. The idea is that when we feel certain things, or we get anxious, we get angry, for example, we can get lost in that feeling, and we can feel it for great lengths of time, and we might not want to be feeling it for great lengths of time. And the buzz is a tool that can be used just to help interrupt the thoughts. I call it a buzz because it buzzes around inside your mind instead of the thoughts that you're having, maybe the habitual thoughts or the worrying thoughts or the anxious thoughts or the angry thoughts, just to bring you back to a place of being neutral. Because when we're neutral, we can take a breath, we can choose how we want to respond rather than reacting. And sometimes things around us, especially if we're having difficulties in a relationship, things around us can really send us into a spin, and we just need something, a tool to bring us back to neutrality, to, okay, I've got this, I'm taking a breath, let me get some perspective. And sometimes we just need a bit of help with that. So that's what the buzz is designed to do. We all know about affirmations and positive thinking, and this is a little tool that we can use in those moments when we need to come back to a place of neutrality. I believe that if we change how we think, we can change how we feel, and that just might be enough of a change right here, right now, to make things manageable. So let's look at some examples. So, for example, things are going on, you're feeling anxious, and it may be that you feel anxious a lot of the time because there's an awful lot going on that you're worried about. And positive thinking, affirmations can be useful, but sometimes we just need something right here, right now, that we can say that can just bring us out of the anxiety feeling, even if it's for a moment. And then once we've brought ourselves out of that anxious feeling for a moment, we can start to build on that. So the buzz, which is a thought or word or a phrase for feeling anxious, is right here, right now, I'm okay. And that might just be right here, right now, in this second, as I take in this breath, I'm okay. And that might just be enough of an interruption into the anxious thoughts, just to give you a moment's respite. And you can build on it, and you can repeat it, and you can, right here, right now, I'm okay. Because for a split second, we can all be okay for a split second. And that split second can be built on. So things are going on, you're feeling really anxious. The buzz is right here, right now, I'm okay. Another example, maybe you're dealing with feeling angry. And there can be lots of reasons why we're angry. And oftentimes we can think that we shouldn't be angry. I talk a lot about how it's perfectly okay to give ourselves permission to feel our anger. It's not okay to explode at other people, but it's certainly okay for us to feel our feelings. So if you're feeling really angry, the buzz is, I have every right to feel my anger. I have every right to feel my anger. I don't have every right to explode it at everybody, but I certainly have every right to feel it. You're feeling angry, the buzz is, I have every right to feel my anger. And just by having that thought, we can enter into a slightly more neutral place where we can watch the fact that we're angry. And if we can watch it, then perhaps we can start to validate our own anger, support ourselves in our anger. Then we can perhaps explore why we're angry. But the essential is, we're feeling angry, and the buzz is, I have every right to feel my anger. Another example of how we can use a buzz is when we're obsessing. And we may be thinking, oh, why did that happen? Or I'm sure this, why why did that happen? Or why did I say this? Or why did they say that? And I wish things had been different. Or why was this happening? Or we try to puzzle things through, and something happens and we just can't stop thinking about it. There could be many, many things that we obsess about. And when those obsessive thoughts come up, the buzz we can use to interrupt that can buzz around inside our mind instead, is thank you for letting me know. So when the recurrent thoughts keep coming, keep presenting, we can say, thank you for letting me know. And it comes up again and it comes up again. And we can say, thank you for letting me know. And it comes up again and it comes up again. Thank you for letting me know. Another opportunity when we can use the buzz is if we're wishing things were different. We can spend a lot of time, oh, I wish I hadn't said that, I wish they hadn't said that, I wish things could be how they used to be. We can waste an awful lot of time wishing, particularly if we're having relationship difficulties and things aren't the way that we want them to be and would like them to be, or they aren't the way they used to be, maybe at this point in time. And a really useful buzz to interrupt those wishing thoughts is simply, it is what it is. So we find ourselves wishing, lost in wishing things were different. The buzz for that can be, it is what it is. And that is the buzz, because once we start to accept what's happening, instead of living in a fantasy and wishing it was different, once we can accept that this is what's happening, then we're in a much better position to take stock from that place of neutrality. It is what it is. To take stock, to look at what's really going on. And when we do accept, when we do really face what's going on, it gives us a chance to actually do something about it. Spending time wishing it was different robs us of an opportunity to really deal with things. Finally, an example for a buzz could be around an injustice. Now, when there's an injustice, like somebody accuses you of saying something you didn't say, or doing something you didn't do, or meaning something by something you said that you really didn't mean, that injustice can really sting and it can really play on our minds. And it can be really excruciating to be feeling that smart of injustice, and it can really run riot in us over and over again. We can find it being something that we really think about a lot. And the buzz for this is, things can be unfair sometimes, and I'm okay with that. That might seem that you're giving permission to the situation which you're feeling so much pain around the injustice of, but actually, by acknowledging that things can be unfair and sometimes, and I'm okay with that, frees us from the loop of thoughts around the injustice. And if we can accept that sometimes things are just unfair and that's okay, then it no longer has power over us. Sometimes things are just unfair and that's okay. It no longer controls us, it no longer defines us, it no longer plays so much on our mind. It gives us a place, an opportunity to come back to being neutral. Things can be unfair sometimes, and I'm okay, but that frees us from the situation and it brings us back to a place of neutral, brings us back to the present moment, brings us back into the now. And from that point, we can make decisions, we can respond rather than react, and we regain control because we come from a place of being neutral. That is a whistle stop tour of the buzz, what it means and how it can be used. And I've pulled together certain words for certain examples, but it's really important that you use something that works for you. And they may work for you, though they may resonate with you, the words that I've chosen as the buzz. Right here, right now, I'm okay if you're feeling anxious. I acknowledge my right to feel angry. I have every right to feel angry if you're feeling angry. Thank you for letting me know if you've got obsessive thoughts coming around in your mind. Thank you for letting me know. And if you're wishing things were different, it is what it is. Just, it is what it is. And finally, dealing with an injustice, things can be unfair sometimes, and I'm okay with that. They're all designed just to bring you back to a place of neutral. As I said, this is a whistle stop tour, just as an overview explanation of the buzz and how you can use it. You've got this. Sending lots of love.